All right, we're live on our YouTube channel. We're talking about The Walking Dead. We're going to talk about the new Netflix show, Stranger Things.
Yep.
And then we're going to end our chats this evening
with
iZombie.
Yep.
And we would like to welcome our special guest, Wendy from Madison, Wisconsin. Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello.
How are things in Madison?
Really warm.
Not as warm as in Kansas City.
Pretty hot here, too.
The humidity levels today were 97%, so it felt like a swamp.
Yeah, that's not okay.
I don't know.
All right,
it was pretty humid here. I don't know if it was that humid though.
Right. You know where it would be perfect weather this time of year?
What's that?
San Diego.
San
for
Diego.
Comic-Con.
That's right.
We were there this time last year.
I know.
And Wendy, you're going with us next year, right?
I would love to if you'll take me.
Of course we will.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we were just talking earlier today about how we hope that since we skip a year, sometimes you get pushed back a little bit further in line when you're waiting online to get your tickets for the next Comic-Con. So hopefully we'll be able to still get up there a little bit higher than before because when we first started, you're kind of at the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
It's sort of like a lottery.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And so we're hoping we can go all 4 days next year. Mm-hmm. We only went 2 last year, so see.
And obviously there's always a lot of news that comes out of Comic-Con.
Oh, yes.
I guess, one of the big shows that people were waiting to see how they were going to handle Comic-Con this year was The Walking Dead because of how they ended the finale for season 6.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of controversy around
controversial.
it.
A little bit.
We were not very happy with it. But Wendy, you were happy with the cliffhanger last year?
I wasn't unhappy with it, and I think I'm one of the very few people in the entire world that I understood why they did it, and it didn't bother me. I didn't feel that feeling of, I guess a lot of people said they felt kind of betrayed. A lot of people thought that it was a cop-out or it was lazy, especially because a lot of the episode was the RV driving back and forth, and they didn't follow through with who was on the other end of Negan's bat. But I didn't mind it. I think I'm one of the only people, but I also did not hate the finale of How I Met Your Mother, so maybe there's something wrong with me.
Maybe there is. Because we talked about it. I wasn't a fan of it. Now, I would say back a few years ago, a cliffhanger like that would work because of what we were talking about earlier, Wendy, with you didn't have to worry about the spoilers getting online, or the actor who's not going to be in this season. Yep. They've already got a new job, and you already know they got a new job before you see the premiere, which we're going to have to wait till October 23rd before we find out. And, I mean, there's already been sort of speculation out there about who maybe hasn't been seen anywhere near where they film in Georgia. So I guess I think there might be a way, there will probably be a way to figure it out. But I will say I was very impressed with how they did the trailer for season.
Yes. They didn't really give anything away so much about Lucille or anything, who actually died, but, it gave us a little hint of some, we'll get to see new next season. So.
Well, and that's just it. They got lucky, and I think they knew what they were, I mean, obviously the show, they know what they're doing.
Yes.
Robert Kirkman, they know what they're doing, and they know that people obviously are very interested. They're trying to figure out who the victim was. But they also knew that going into season 7, they were going to, Carol and Morgan were going to be in a totally different area.
Exactly.
So you have a lot more material for these trailers. And we're going to have a couple more trailers leading up to season 7.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously the focus will probably be more on...
I bet the closer we get, the more focus it'll be on.
Well, and they might not be shying away from revealing who died. I mean, I don't think they're going to come right out and say it in the trailers, but I mean, I think part of the reason that they did the finale that they did, or at least this is what I'm hoping is the reason for, is that of all the deaths that we've seen on the show, I think that has to be the most violent for a character that we care about. And that was one of the reasons I didn't mind the finale, is because I don't think I could have handled seeing that. I mean, it was bad enough to see Herschel. It was bad enough to see Beth. It was bad enough to sort of be there with Lori. I think for this, that amount of violence of a bat, I couldn't handle. And so what I've read is that they're picking up season 7 a period of time after it happened, and so you see how the characters are grieving this loss, and we can jump in not having had to see that ourselves. And so I kind of feel like they don't even have to be quite so careful with the trailers in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, we do know, because they did talk, there was a panel at Comic-Con, and they said we are going to see the death. And it's going to be very, very gruesome.
Oh, I thought they were skipping past it. Oh, now I'm horrified. Now I don't know if I can jump in.
It was a monumental moment in the comics that you cannot not do it in the show, I think. You know, and given the lead up to everything, Negan and Lucille, and like, you got to show it. I'm sorry. I want to see it.
Yeah, they said it's going to be pretty gruesome.
Everything that I said about that and being past the grieving process, I don't know. I guess. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle that.
Right? I mean, and like you said, it's with a bat, and they're not. And Herschel's death was rough.
Exactly.
And we're going to see one of our favorite characters get their head bashed in. Okay, Wendy. So let's go around. We're gonna take Rick and Carl out of the equation. There's absolutely no way.
No.
So who are the top 3 other characters that you really care about on The Walking Dead, who were lined up waiting to see?
You would be sad to see.
Yeah.
Who would be most upset? That's really easy. I think Glenn number 1, and I think we all are pretty worried about him. I think Maggie would be number 2 and Michonne would be number 3. I think that's pretty easy. I mean, I definitely feel affection for the other characters, but
Daryl
been around. Oh, I think it just won't be. I think I'm just that confident that it wouldn't be him.
Exactly.
But Glenn and Maggie, I think, would be emotionally the roughest. And then Michonne, I mean, I actually like squealed out loud when she hooked up with Rick. Like, I just thought that was so great, and I think that would be pretty.
I know.
Around. Daryl would be a close 4. Daryl would be a close 4.
Yeah, I mean,
we're
Maggie, Glenn, Michonne, Daryl. I think any of those would be really terrible. I mean, if Abraham, Eugene, Sasha.
No.
You know, any of those guys.
I even forgot Aaron and Eugene were even in the lineup.
Yeah,
so I saw the trailer. I'm like, oh yeah, they were.
You know, I'd be
I love Aaron's character.
but I don't think it would be as impactful as say Glenn or Maggie or anything else. So I think it's gonna be Maggie.
Me too.
Maggie.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple things. There are a couple things that it's the foreshadowing aspect that we talked about
especially
last season.
in that trailer.
Well, yeah, in the trailer, how the Polaroid picture that, you know, he's like, oh, you're not going to need that picture because I'm going to be with you forever. Okay.
Yeah.
And then she cut her hair. They had her cut her hair in the episode, not the finale.
I'm sorry. I was cutting out. Doesn't she have shorter hair in the comic?
In the finale?
Yeah, in the comic. She
in
said,
the comic? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But I think that was kind of a way to get around if she's on another project and she had to cut her hair.
That's true.
I don't know. Because they did the cop out with Glenn dying.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't think it's going to be as impactful. I mean, it will be impactful.
It will be
if he
impactful
dies.
if it is him, but I would almost be upset if it was him because we did this whole song and dance of is he dead or not under the dumpster, and he was fine, and then just to kill him, you know, again, sort of say I would not, honestly.
That was the theory of the couple of weeks when we weren't sure she was alive. And they did that to raise the nation, knowing that the bat scene was going to be.
Right. I mean, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Ugh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I just hope they can keep it a secret. I'm really trying. I mean, I only get on Reddit for Game of Thrones and Star Wars, so I'm not getting on.
Don't do it. Don't know.
I'm not doing it for
Walking
Walking Dead.
Don't do it.
I'll let that be a surprise.
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones and Star Wars, I'm all about going down the Reddit rabbit hole. So
Don't do it.
no. But no, I thought the trailer was great. I think they handled it.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, and we got to see a little bit of the kingdom, which was a big thing in the books with Ezekiel and his tiger, which I can't believe they're actually doing the tiger, because when I heard about the tiger, I was like, I thought it was just a little too crazy for the show, but
Yeah.
we're doing it. It's been interesting. So I'm excited to see that storyline with the kingdom. So and see how it.
Where did this come from? Is he in a zoo? I mean,
Uh-oh, did we lose her?
can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I said, where did the tiger come from? Is he from a zoo or?
I don't know. I don't know the backstory really. I've just only heard of Ezekiel and his tiger and
Yeah.
the kingdom he rules. So I don't really know the backstory. So it'll be interesting to see it. But it's kind of crazy.
And why isn't this tiger? Why don't they let this tiger loose on Negan? Right? I mean, wouldn't that just solve all the problems?
You'd think so. Or to take down some walkers. I feel like a tiger could probably take down some walkers.
Yeah, but you don't want a walker tiger. I mean, right? Let's be honest.
That'd be pretty terrifying.
It would be.
But
Anyway,
yeah, anyway, I think it'll be interesting to see how they help Rick's group kind of retaliate against Negan. You know, there's gonna be a big war, so
oh yeah,
for sure. So,
and we know Negan is still around in the comic books, and
yeah.
I mean Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's
Oh my god, I love him. I love him
he's
so much.
he's great.
He's great.
Kat, I know why you love him.
What? Oh, because he's.
Kat, I know why you love him because he's Papa Winchester. First and foremost.
I should have known
I know.
that stupid Supernatural was going
Shut up.
to be
Well, come on.
brought into
Come on.
this podcast.
You can't bring up Jeffrey Dean Morgan and not mention Supernatural.
You can't. You can't.
Well, I guess he's not going to be back for season 32 of Supernatural
So, well, no. So,
for now.
for now.
For now, they all come back.
For now.
Wendy, I remember when Supernatural started. I watched it with you guys.
I know you did, and then you gave up, just like a lot of people. But Kat and I stuck in there.
Yeah, I'll stick with it, no matter how bad it gets. I'll watch it.
Who's the demon this season? That's really the question.
Well, this season.
Do you want to go down this conversation?
No.
It's
We'd be happy to preview the next season with you.
very complicated. They had the Supernatural panel today, by the way.
I know, I saw it.
really-
I almost sent the
I
email.
haven't read any of the stuff that's been out of it, but
This is last season. That's what it said.
no, it's not.
Yeah, I did. No, it's
I don't. Yeah, I don't.
No,
It'll go to season 40, I'm sure. Or they'll hit the magical 50s.
Supernatural is now the longest running sci-fi television show in American history,
I didn't know that. That's impressive.
and they're designating September 13th is going to be Supernatural Day. I learned all this from live stream with Misha Collins behind the scenes of their panel.
Don't you have his?
Down to Casey and celebrate with you.
Yes, please.
You guys could do your own Google Hangout that day for 4 hours.
Okay, well, speaking of supernatural things,
Yes.
how about Stranger Things?
Oh,
Yeah,
I was wondering, what am I going to watch after Game of Thrones?
I know.
We were like, what is there
I
to
know.
watch? And then all of a sudden, Stranger Things appears.
You know, and I remember reading about the show in development and whatnot, but I really had no idea. I had no idea when it was coming to Netflix. Like, I really had lost touch of it, and then it suddenly just dropped, and it's this magnificent television show.
And only 8 episodes.
Exactly. It just pretty much came out of nowhere. You know.
perfect for the summer too.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfect. for-
I mean, all of it's just so good, and like everyone I know has watched it, is now obsessed with it.
Mhm.
Well, and I think what they've kind of done is they've kind of channeled like Steven Spielberg and all of
John
these.
Carpenter, like
Yeah.
all these really, it's just such a mashup of every great '80s movie
And done well.
done well. Exactly.
Not just like.
you
we've
know,
seen it
and
done
you watch it
before.
and you see these like themes or these certain shots that remind you of certain movies, and it's so good. I just can't get over how good.
Wendy, were you hooked from episode 1?
Yes, absolutely. And Kat, kind of like you were saying, I remember reading about it, and then I forgot when it was going to debut until I saw so many people on Facebook say, "Who's watching this?" I just binged the entire thing this weekend, etc. And it just, I mean, I think from the title card, in, which was some sort of crazy mix of like VC Andrews font
Yes.
or like Tron. It was just, and the music. I think the music had so much to do with it. I was absolutely hooked, and it did remind me of all of my favorite things about the '80s in pop culture.
Yeah, me too. You know, it's so good.
Yeah. And Wendy, you're a huge Goonies fan.
Yes, that was a lot of it. Like riding the bikes around, that reminded me of the Goonies. That reminded me of E.T. I think I said to you guys, episode 2 and 3, when Elle was kind of wandering through the Wheeler's house and she was learning about TV. And even when he was showing her his toys, I was like, that is Elliot showing E.T. his peasant, his Greedo, and his fish. And it was just like the Goonies. I kept thinking that like the Nancy, Steve, Jonathan love triangle was just like Andy and Brant and stupid Troy Perkins. And I mean, I was expecting them to go to an old restaurant. I mean, it was, and Stand By Me. It was another one of my absolute all-time favorites. There just were so many elements of that, but never copying it. I mean, it was absolutely still original in its own. It just made me feel those same kind of feelings. So I thought they did such a wonderful job with that throwback without being weird.
There's like there's aliens, there's some of that in there, and the guys too, which they mentioned in the show too, and it's like there's so, and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, you kind of remember that,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Yeah.
so much of it. It's so good. I can't believe it.
The one thing I was happy they didn't do is on the bike escape when 11 is on the back and they get trapped. And I was like, this is an ET moment. Just please don't fly, don't fly, don't fly. And she flipped the car over. I'm like, yes, thank you.
I totally love those people.
Yeah, there's so many moments where it's like, I love the nostalgia factor.
Yes.
But I don't want it to be exactly like,
Anyone. Yeah.
Yeah. And Winona Ryder's back. Where the hell has she
where's she
been?
been? And God, I love Winona Ryder. I mean,
She was so good. I mean, I think the acting from everybody, especially the younger actors, was really amazing. But Winona Ryder was just on a whole nother level, and I love her so much.
I do. And like a lot of my favorite films growing up, she was in them. Edward Scissorhands,
Oh,
Little Women.
Beetlejuice.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of these movies I watch, and I'm like, I forget how much I love Winona Ryder, and it's just, it's so good to see her again. And the guy who played Hopper, the chief, fantastic.
Right.
They were all good. And those kids were so good.
The actress that plays 11, I think every single episode she blew me away more than the last. Millie Bobby Brown was her name. I think she was so good at that, and it would have been so easy to turn that into that really awkward, cheesy sort of, special kid alien type thing, and she didn't. She kept it very real. Just, she was an abused child. She was a sheltered child, and I just thought she was amazing.
Well, and the thing is, with that character, there's not a lot of dialogue. So it's all about facial expression and emotion,
exactly.
and he nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's just so good. And so
That had to be one of the hardest parts to cast too.
So you've watched the whole series, right, Wendy?
I have, yeah. They did leave us some cliffhangers. I'm interested to see what's going to happen in season 2, because I feel like it was pretty nicely wrapped up if they were to take it in a completely different direction. If it were to be more like the American Horror Story type anthologies, but I can also see how they left the door open if they stay with Hawken.
Yeah, true. And I really hope they do, because I really grew to love those characters, so I hope they don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, an anthology series would be cool, but also I like this character so much that I want to see them again. So
Yeah.
Well, justice.
Yes.
Don't just do it just because it's pop.
Mm-hmm.
Give the creators time again to really flesh out the story. Make sure that it's going to be a solid, hopefully just 8 episodes, season 2, instead of just pushing something through just because, oh my gosh, it's so popular now.
True.
Let's try and get something
True.
out there as soon as possible.
True. So the ending, we'll just say spoiler alert. If you haven't watched it, we're going to talk about some of the things that happened. So spoiler alert. I'll give you all some time to turn away or turn us off. Okay, that's enough time. So what do you think? What do you think of Hopper leaving the Eggos in the little box. What do you think? What's up with 11?
I don't know. I mean, he got into the back seat with the bad men.
Exactly.
So maybe they told him where Elle is. Maybe they know, or maybe he doesn't know anything and he's just hoping.
Yeah, I wonder if my sister and I were talking about this, and my sister thinks that she's in some sort of different parallel universe, not necessarily the upside down, but she's in a different plane, maybe maybe where where she went to connect with everybody in her mind or whatever. Maybe that's where she is. I definitely think she's still alive somewhere.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, real quick, where she went in her mind was one of the things that I think really struck me about the cinematography and the shooting of this, because the way that they showed that was just complete blank darkness with a little bit of water on the ground. I thought that was a really cool way to show that we were in her mind. And the upside down world looked really cool too. And so the thought that there might even be a third other alternate world or more, I would love to see what that would look like and what they would do with that.
Absolutely. I agree. So I think she definitely does a lot. And then with Will coughing up some, and then briefly going to the upside down. I read some things that people think that maybe he connected to the upside down now, and he'll be able to just go back there back and forth, not necessarily moving the portal. Since he was
he was already there.
Yeah. Which would be interesting.
I wish they hadn't gotten rid of Barbara.
I know.
I really like the character.
Poor Barb.
Poor Barb.
And that was her first TV series.
Mm-hmm.
She did a great job.
She did. Shannon Mercer is her name. But yeah, I really thought she was going to be a character that was going to continue throughout.
And I'm a little unhappy that Nancy decided to stay with what's his face.
Yeah, I think there's something else there.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
With Steve. Actually, but here's another thing. Steve didn't end up being that typical.
Yeah, exactly. He did redeem himself, which I granted, which is nice. But I think Nancy.
And maybe they will if there is a second season. I read that they wanted Steve to be just this absolute douche that you could not possibly like. But then when they cast the actor in that role, he was actually more likable than they wanted him to be. And so that kind of is what precipitated that turnaround, and where he jumped in and helped them and he apologized. And you end up liking him. That wasn't really supposed to happen, but he just was such a likable actor that you couldn't help it.
And I like the guy who,
Well, that worries me just a little bit, because I thought that would have been planned. Because again, they kind of turned the formula a little bit on its side, and that's one thing that I was expecting not to be surprised by. Oh, this is just that one-dimension character, but then we kind of see there's so much personal growth with Steve's character that it makes me like him even more, because he's learning from his experience and how he handled the experiences. So.
Did anyone have a favorite moment or a favorite episode?
I really liked when he kissed 11. That was really cute.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really cute. When they dressed her up too. She was like, okay.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was cute.
Oh, yeah, she had like her blonde.
Yeah,
there
were just so many good moments. I mean, the whole scene with Winona Ryder when she was talking to Will through the lights too was really good.
That's absolutely, I think, my favorite scene, because, and I think that's where I went from, okay, this is an interesting show. I think I like it. And that was the end of episode 3. And that's when I freaked out and started stalking everyone on Facebook who had posted about this and said, oh my God, have you gotten there yet? Have you seen episode 3? He spelled out run. And I think that was absolutely, now I don't want to say a turning point because I liked it up until then, but that is the moment where I was like, you've got me.
Yep. It reminded me a lot of Poltergeist in that moment too.
Yeah.
So it was a good one. So it was just also good.
But I also like the moment when the kids are trying. Oh, the cliff scene.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was
really
great.
Good.
Whenever Elle pulled out her powers, it was pretty awesome. I just, and a lot of times when those kids were just together, like bantering,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
So,
All the kids are. I
especially
mean,
going
that
to the
had
list.
to be so tricky. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just casting kids.
I know.
And most of these kids, it's one of their first big things.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so good.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to more.
Me too. There's just not, and there's not like one thing I didn't like about it. Not one thing. So.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's gonna be one we were again talking today. Like, I think I'm gonna go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
Because I know there are gonna be things that I missed from the first time, and it's just enjoyable. I mean, it's funny, it's thrilling. There's mystery around it.
Yeah.
And the one thing with the monster, like,
yeah,
it was unique and different, and I love the fact that they left us with so many questions.
Exactly.
Like, they didn't have to wrap everything up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously they want to do another season, but it's like I am okay with not knowing, certain answers to these questions that we're wondering about. Where did this come from, or why did that happen, or what started all this?
And I think I wonder if we're going to see more kids like Elle, since she is assuming there's.
Oh yeah.
Can you guys hear me now?
Sure.
I am very sorry. I apologize for the audio problems up here in Wisconsin.
There. No. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Now we're down to two. Oh,
just one?
Now just one.
Just one.
I apologize. Something crashed. I'm back. It's the humidity.
It's the humidity.
It's the humidity.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, I'm glad you're back. It looked like she went in the upside down world.
She did. She went
Something
upside
like that.
down.
It's the Demogorgon. He snatched me.
That's right.
I'll be honest, I've obviously heard of Dungeons and Dragons, but have not had the pleasure of playing it, and so I feel like I learned a little bit about how that works from watching the boys playing that in the basement.
I've never played myself, but I have seen people play. I've watched people play. It is something. It is. You have to be real creative and committed, because I don't think I could do it.
I will say, from the first episode we were watching it, I'm like, I really missed out as a kid playing Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I think I would be cool with it. But then by episode 3 or 4, I'm like, okay, no, there's too much. No, never mind. I didn't miss out. I'm glad I understand it a little bit more now. But I understand why. I had friends who would play it for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
Like,
And like you're coming up with characters and what happens to them, and you do voices and all kinds. It's crazy.
I basically did that sort of thing with my Barbie dolls, but created worlds and narratives and characters, and they had backstories. Same thing.
Yeah, I guess we all did. I mean, I played my Star Wars.
Yeah, I played with
and
So anyway, for those of you who have not watched Stranger Things on Netflix, you really need to. You won't regret it, especially if you grew up in the 80s or the early 90s too.
But I think even if they didn't,
I think even
appreciate
if,
it.
I mean,
It's just
even
fun.
if you have seen movies from the 80s, no matter how old you are, I think you're still gonna love it. It's a great show. So.
All right. Cool. Well, let's move on to iZombie,
So
which
iZombie,
I am not all caught
I
up
know.
on, but that's okay. I'm all right. I know that I'm going to go back and watch it. Actually, maybe now is a good time.
You
to go
really
back
should.
and
So
finish season 2.
what I read some stuff from the panel, and nothing was really earth-shattering, but other than season 2 is going to be mid-season on CW, which disappoints me so much.
Oh.
Why does season 3 have to be a mid-season? Why?
Right.
I don't know. I get that they.
Well, now they have Supergirl though, so
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that could also be another reason
They
why
have
it's
a lot
pushing
of-
things
They
back.
have some new shows. I know that.
The 100.
Yeah, the 100. They have a lot of different shows, but iZombie is one of their most popular shows right now. So yeah, we have to wait mid-season, which I'm not happy with. The show itself is fantastic, and Winnie and I were talking about the finale before this, and it was so good. I mean, you have to watch it. So many things happened, and it was just funny, and there's so much. Rob Thomas, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
Veronica
great.
Mars.
It's like Veronica Mars with a zombie. Yeah.
Has there been talk about getting Kristen Bell on iZombie?
She did sort of a cameo as a voice of on an audiobook.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
like there was a case where this woman had written a book and Kristen Bell was like the audiobook voice of it. So that was really it.
Wendy?
Sorry, I froze again.
Oh, we were wondering.
You see me talking? I'm back. No, I mean, I just think it's such a fantastic show, and being such a huge fan of Veronica Mars and Rob Thomas, I think it hits those same tones, but is very much its own show. I know, like, that's something I think you could always worry about a little bit, but I mean, it really is. And I think it's for me, it's kind of a nice breather from something like The Walking Dead, because I love zombie movies. Like I dig it, and it's got every world has its own rules. So it's always interesting to see that, but this always has those great moments of humor and levity and a little bit of romance. And so even though I am watching, all the death and the brains, and it's not kind of a nice balance to something like The Walking Dead. So I look forward to it.
Nice to see a fun spin on the zombie genre. Which is,
Yeah. And I like the mystery of the week. Sometimes mystery of the week can kind of bog down a show.
Yeah.
But I like that because Rose McIver is so great. Like she's just so phenomenal with all of the different characters she inhabits that I don't know. I just think it's really fun, and I like when they do the mystery of the week.
Yes, me too.
It kind of reminds me. I don't know if you watch Orphan Black, Wendy, but Tatiana Maslany
Oh yeah.
is the same thing.
God,
Like,
I know.
I love it. I mean,
It's so good.
just to be able to be an actor and be able to switch
Yeah.
like that's incredible,
Yeah.
and create these memorable characters.
Memorable and completely different characters.
Well, and I think with Rose, what is also impressive is with Tatiana, she's creating her own characters,
Mhm.
but Rose has to play off the fact that these are actors that are on the show, and she has to
Yeah.
figure out their mannerisms and work with them on their characters,
Mhm.
not just create this own character on her own, but she's got to mimic another actor playing another character.
Mm-hmm.
Take
Yeah.
it throughout the episode.
Yeah.
That's
She's great. Yeah.
And they have such a great supporting cast too. I think that's something else that really stands out for me and also reminds me of Veronica Mars. I think any one of those characters, I would be happy to watch a full hour just of them too. I think Robbie is amazing. I think Major is amazing. I am blanking on the name of her best friend. She's great too. I just think they're all so great, and so I think it's really nice to have that supporting cast with her because they aren't just one-dimensional secondary people. I mean, they're all very much their own people, and they're also funny.
Yeah. And even Blaine.
Blaine, yes, and Blaine too. He could be his own show.
And he is so good as the villain. Like, he is so good.
He reminds me of what's his name from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, Spike.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But I mean, he has quite the charisma.
Yes.
The guy on
Oh,
iZombie.
absolutely.
But
Yeah.
just kind of like that. I don't know. It's just.
He's such a smart ass.
Yes. You know, and like you like him, even though he does terrible things, you like him. So
Really, really terrible things, and you still almost want to root for him.
exactly, I know. So anyway, yeah, it's good. So, and the finale is good. I'm excited to see what season 3 is going to bring.
I'm glad that's getting a season 3.
Me too.
But CW's doing really well with their shows.
Yeah, exactly.
Giving them time to breathe and develop.
Yeah, they know how to do programming really well.
I'm still trying to get into Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
I haven't watched it yet. I know I need to
It's
watch
just
it.
too long. It shouldn't be an hour long. It should be a 30-minute show. These comedies should not be an hour long.
No,
Do you watch it, Wendy?
no.
No.
It's been recommended to me, and I have so much on my to-do list, including Orphan Black, that I think it's going to be a long time before I finally get around to it.
Same here.
What is on your list? So Orphan Black. What are some others?
So many things. I still need to finish the season of Orange is the New Black. I would really like to catch Veep. I have not watched that yet, and I think I need some more comedies in my life. Now that Gilmore Girls is coming out on Netflix, that's one of the few early CW/WB shows that I didn't watch. So I actually kind of want to go watch all of Gilmore Girls.
That's what I did last summer. That's what I did. I binged the entire series because I didn't really watch it either, and so I binged it, and now I love it. So yeah,
Maybe you guys can weigh in on this for me. I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I feel like I know too much about it now to jump in because I already know what's going to happen. True or false?
Oh, no, I don't
No.
think so. Wendy, have I not told you about when I started watching season 1? I got so mad when they killed one of the biggest characters that, and seriously, it was after that episode, before I went to bed that night, I got on Wikipedia and I read everything. I was so mad because I'm like, this damn show is not surprising me again. Well, and it was after they killed a horse too, but and a dinosaur. But I'm like, no, I don't care about spoilers anymore. I do not care. I want to know what's supposed to happen. And obviously, they changed a lot from they changed some things from the books. I highly recommend Game of Thrones.
Do
And
it.
also, it's only 10 episodes
Yeah.
a season, and they go by pretty quickly. I know you would like it.
So you think even though I know a lot of the characters that died and that sort of thing, that I would still like it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, and because you'll get to know the characters and see it
See the-
happen, it's still gonna hit you. Like,
Right.
yeah, it'll still get you. Because I mean, there's some great characters on it, and I think it's definitely worth it your time.
Yeah.
So
And it's so big in pop culture. I think that would be,
Yeah.
From a water cooler conversation standpoint, I think
definitely.
you should.
Left out. I like to say no, I haven't seen that quite yet, but it's on my to-do list. I literally have a Google Doc and I mean to watch. There's a lot of serious ones on here, like Sherlock Holmes and Young Doctor's Notebook and The Nick and American Horror Story. I've only seen Hotel because I love Lady Gaga, you know that.
Yeah.
But I have not seen The Mindy Project. I have not seen Portlandia.
Did I see Friday Night Lights on your list?
Yes.
Oh my god.
That's it. We're
I
done.
don't have-
You're done.
Oh my
You're
God.
done. Goodbye.
But now that I'm self-employed, I may have a little bit more time to check things off my Netflix list. So you can check in with me in 6 months and see how I'm doing.
But that's when you need to watch with your hubby, Wendy.
Yeah, definitely.
But here's the great thing, Wendy. You're tricking him because he thinks he's going to watch a show about football. So here's.
Oh, but it's not all about
not. It's not. I mean, football's every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a great combination. Like, Sean, I really want to watch a show with you, and I am going to let you watch a show about football, and maybe I'll enjoy it. Maybe. I don't know, but I'm really trying to help you. Time for us to spend watching TV together. It's all about football. So you're tricking him.
I would watch that just for Connie Britton. I mean, I adore her so much. And I'm so happy CMT picked up Nashville for one more season.
I just hope they fix it. Make it better.
Oh my God.
I'm getting rid of one person that was probably not my favorite character. So,
Which one?
Layla. Layla's not coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Layla's not.
She's done. She's out. Will, I love him as an actor, but God, did they do a disservice to him because he had one storyline for 5 seasons. And I had enough. I had enough of him.
Once Raina was no longer marrying him,
Yeah.
it was done.
I
Yeah.
couldn't believe he was still on the show.
I know.
I'm like, why is Luke Wheeler still around?
I know.
And those damn kids.
Oh my God, the kids.
Why
Oh my God,
do we have
Maddie.
to focus on those stupid kids?
I know.
Yeah, the
Oh.
older one was being such a bee this season. I kind of was over that. But if it's just Raina and Deacon on tour, no, I take that back. Raina and Deacon on tour plus Hayden Panettiere, like, that's all I need. I need all Juliet, just all the time. I love her.
They really, I mean, they started off the show really strong with building the relationship with Raina and Juliet.
And then they
And it's like, oh, we're going to change it. Her mom's going to die, and Raina's going to become a mother figure or whatever. And they started to go that way, and then they turned back. And then it's like, nope, these are two separate characters. And we only
Exactly.
bring them together in certain times when we need them.
Exactly, which bums me out so much because they were so good together.
They are.
You know, it's just, you have these two strong female characters. Why don't you utilize them more? And making Raina deal with her damn bratty children.
Yeah.
Ugh.
See, now I'm getting pissed off about the show, and now I'm thinking I don't actually want it to come back because I did hate so many things about it, but I loved it at the same time. It was like Desperate Housewives.
It's like, I keep watching this, but I'm so
here's the
mad
thing.
about it.
Garbage, but I will DVR it every week.
Exactly.
And I wasn't even listening for this. I wasn't even watching for the songs. You know, like, they were fine. But you know who I want them to get rid of? Scarlett.
Yeah, I'm kind of over Scarlett.
I don't know.
I would rather get rid of Scarlett and keep Maddie around.
I thought you didn't like the kids.
I know, but I do not like Scarlett. She turned in such a whiner.
I think I would rather have Scarlett than Maddie.
Yeah.
Maddie drives me insane.
Ugh.
I like the actress. I just hate her character and the whole storyline with her.
I think I actually hated Daphne more. Because she was like, I'm only 11, but treat me like I'm an adult. And it's like, just be quiet and go be a kid and just stop.
Yeah.
But they're really cute kids. I feel bad.
Yeah.
If they're listening to this right now, which I know that they're not.
Yeah, and they're actually
Kids, the characters need work.
they definitely need work.
I'm so glad though they got rid of Teddy. Thank God.
Oh.
He had-
Oh, he was the worst. His prostitute storyline. Mm-mm.
Exactly.
I really liked her though.
I like
The
the
prostitute.
costume. Yeah, she was fine.
Like, yeah.
But like Will. I like Will, Avery, and Gunner together.
Together. Yes.
Well, the baby. Let's just do a spin-off.
Exactly.
The baby in Nashville.
He's so good. You know, but
I want to propose a podcast topic for you, which is shows that have really gone down the garbage and you had to finally just stop watching them, even though they were still on. Like this.
like this, yeah.
Yeah.
Sleepy Hollow.
You're still watching that?
Well, I watched up until
Ah.
last season, or until the end of the season, but now I don't know if I'll watch it anymore. It got picked up again. Shockingly, it got picked up again. I don't know how, but
Bones is kind of the same
yeah,
way.
Bones is done though. Bones is next.
Oh, is it?
Next season is their last, I think.
Well, New Girl's also on that list.
New Girl,
right?
exactly.
I stopped watching.
I stopped
New Girl.
watching New Girl too. You're right, I did, and I love New Girl. I know.
And I will say, and I told you this, Megan Fox episodes weren't that bad.
I didn't watch any of them. I watched the first episode and then I was done with it. I just lost interest.
Of this new latest season.
Yeah, this is, yeah. So,
I think Wendy froze up again.
did you freeze it? Yeah.
No, I'm just listening. I haven't watched New Girl, so I couldn't join in.
Yeah, that's a good podcast.
That is a good podcast. Yeah, I think
Actually, we
there's a lot.
should do that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Now
All right.
that you're going to have time on your hands and we're going to be able to podcast more because of Google Hangout Live or whatever. On air.
Pause for Google.
Damn it.
Product endorsement.
Right.
Hey,
Yes, Google.
hey, if they'll sponsor
Really,
a
if they want to
podcast.
sponsor a podcast, Google.
Yeah.
We love you.
All right, well, I think we're good.
I think we are. I think we're all
Yeah.
wrapped up. Is there anything you want to talk about?
No, I think you covered pretty much everything I'm obsessed with at this exact moment in time. So thanks for letting me talk about it.
Yeah, thanks for talking to us. It was fun. Let's do this more often.
Yeah, definitely. And we will do that podcast. I think that that's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's a great
Let's
idea.
do one podcast just on that. And I'm sure we can talk for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of TV shows.
Cool. Well, guys, you can always follow us on Twitter at A Gal and a Gay.
We're also on Facebook at A Gal and a Gay. You can find us or email us agalandagay@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube.
Yeah,
If you
YouTube
have-
now.
If you're watching us right now, you already found it. But if you haven't,
Yeah.
it's Kitty Nick. Just search for Kitty.
Yep.
For YouTube. So
And also, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean.
Podbean.
Podbean is the service that hosts our podcast.
Mhm. So you can find us all over the place. Just Google it. So find us. Google.
Cool. Thanks for listening and watching, guys.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Wendy, for being
Yeah,
here.
thanks, Wendy.
For having me.
Okay, all right. Well, until next time, guys.
Cool.
All right, bye. For those of you watching.
Bye.
We're going to keep the conversation going, but off air.